control of our class.
Okay, well, to start the lesson, I want to find out, have y'all ever been persuaded before?
Yes.
Well, how were you persuaded? What kind of techniques were used when you were persuaded before?
Bribes. Yeah, bribes.
Yeah, bribes. Okay. Can anybody think of a specific example of a way in which they were persuaded, like a specific thing, like maybe with your brother, your sister, or your parent?
My mom told me if I go to the grocery store with her, she'll buy me new shoes. Is that persuade?
Yeah.
Or obedience?
Okay. Well, the reason why I bring this up is because we're going to talk about rhetorical strategies in writing. So there are 3 different types. There is ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay, so ethos is the appeal to the authority or honesty in a speaker. So an example of this might be using a notable figure in order to persuade the audience. So, for instance, using a doctor in an advertisement, or using, just a person of credibility in an advertisement. So, I brought some visuals, and this little advertisement right here is an example of that kind of rhetorical strategy of the ethos. Because this person here looks very professional and well put together, and is advertising this web development program. So that would be ethos. So would be appeal to the honesty. Okay, and the next one is pathos. And pathos is appeal to the audience's emotion. And so an example of this, it would be in this advertisement, this little puppy looks really cute and adorable, and it just makes you feel, really great to see this little puppy here. And so this would be an appeal to your emotion, trying to help persuade you by seeing this little puppy. So ethos would be appeal to emotion. Okay, and so the last one is logos. And that's the appeal to logic. And one of the ways that, so using facts and figures is one of the ways that this is an example of logos. So using statistics in your advertisements, or just using facts to look smart and well prepared. So an example of that would be this advertisement, which is it just has the statistics. 9 out of 10 people who share injection needles test positive for HIV/AIDS, and it shows this, little stat here in visual. So that would be logic. Okay, so why would this be necessary for English? How would this apply to English? Where might you have seen this in writing before? Essays? Okay. Yes. It's really important in essays and in speeches. Presidents, different political speeches, this is really used. So what we're going to do, let's first go over. So does anybody have any questions so far about the ethos, pathos, or logos? Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're just going to I'm going to pass out these little strips. Y'all can get into groups and just look over these little strips and try and analyze a way in which it either appeals to the character, the honesty of the audience, through maybe a visual source, appeal to emotion or the appeal to logic. And then in a few minutes, we'll just reconvene and we'll discuss it more. I know there's not going to be groups really, but.
Y'all gotta figure it out by yourself. It's the first one. It's the first one. Is it ethos?
Okay, so everyone ready? Okay, so Joan, what did you discover in your rule?
Are they all different or are they all the same?
They're all different.
Oh, okay. Well, mine is from the Truman Doctrine, and it's talking about when the Germans destroyed something. And I think it is, it's appealing to the emotion, so ethos, because it's talking about more than 1,000 villages have been burned, 85% of the children were tubercular, like everybody's...
Pathos.
Oh, whoops, that's what I meant. The emotion one. I thought emotion.
So it would be so bad.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
To remember that it's ethos ethics.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My bad.
that's okay. So I'm sorry. So what did you?
It says more than 1,000 villages have been burned. 85% of the children were tubercular. Livestock, poultry, and draft animals had almost disappeared. Like it's just talking about like the destruction of everything.
Okay, so
Making you feel really sorry for these people that lost like
Okay.
their homes and their their children are sick and their money is gone.
they're just okay. So they're negative, word choice or diction.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And using like tragic examples.
Okay, I'll do one more just to save time. Okay, how about you, Jessica?
Okay, well, this one is from President Kennedy's inaugural speech, and he's talking about people all across the world that are struggling because of famine or dictatorship, and at the end he says, we don't do it just because we're like trying to seek power or votes or anything else, but because it's right. And so I feel like it could fall under two categories.
Okay.
Under ethos and pathos. Ethos because President Kennedy is a respected person. He's the president of the United States. And then pathos because he's talking about morals and hitting on emotions of why people should do it.
Okay, yeah. So basically, there are a lot of different ways to, and actually in Gems too, that was also an example of logos because it talks about the different number of people in the. That was just another way, talking about the 8,000 people would also be the appeal to logic. There's a lot of different strategies you can use. So you can use diction, like negative word choice, really positive word choice, things that really. Passion. And then Jessica talked about also, the fact that I think yours was President Truman. Yeah, so President Truman was talking in that speech, and he's just a really respected person. So, really quickly, so what is, I know it's on the board, but what's ethos?
Appeal to honorary character.
Okay.